Greetings, one and all, to the most cursed, most cringiest corner of the internet. A YouTube channel content creator. Actively alienating everyone in both the analog and digital world. Well, welcome and good evening, wonderful dice of all alignments. I am Lunar D8. I believe I remember playing this game quite a few years ago. I remember it being a pretty good visual novel and pretty good art styles. What I think is most interesting about this series, even though this is actually a trilogy, it's called the Data Live trilogy. It's apparently the Rio-Reincarnation, if I remember correctly, is the third game in the series. And the first ones is Rinne, Utopia, and Arusu. They all had very good stories, and as you can hear, amazing music. If anything, I've always been perhaps a bit too much of a fan of amazing music in video games. I mean, any game I've really enjoyed in the past, especially the original NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System from back in the 1980s. You had games, of course, we all loved Super Mario Brothers, and Castlevania, and Kirby, and Legend of Zelda. I know I'm forgetting something. I already said Castlevania. Oh, I know there's another one of those major series that I can't remember. But I know, like, as far as me, granted, I really enjoyed watching and playing a lot of Super Mario 1 and 3 on the NES. But, as I've said before, the best game ever released on the NES was Dragon's Spirit: The New Legend, which is a remake of an arcade game, which there are many differences to it, but that version was much better. Plus, there was also a lot of old school RPGs back on the NES and SNES that were, the amazing music to it. Heck, there was also a Lunar game series, which I guess I'm a little partial just because my name, my name's more so a play on other things. Basically, Night Moon 11 plus Lunar D8. The D8 also makes a little, yelly, angry face. You're playing angry video games and rage games and stuff. I've considered playing the Only Up game, but honestly, I don't think my computer would handle that. Beyond that, like you see these three things. I think there was a fourth one they made eventually called Dystopia or something, but I never saw that get released here in America, and I don't think I'm ever going to come across that game. But yeah, there's a gallery here, so yeah, like CGs and stuff. But yeah, like Dragon Spirit: The New Legend, and Robo Warrior, and Swords and Serpents, absolutely amazing 8-bit music. You had other games like Sega Genesis. You had Vector Man, Zero, the Kamikaze Squirrel, Kid Chameleon, Sonic Shuffle, of course Sonic the Hedgehog, the original Shining Force. Though Shining Force 5, Shining Force EXA, is probably one of the best games on the PS2, along with Dragon Quest VIII. And of course, I've always said, Brave Fencer Musashi on the PlayStation. And they did make a reboot of it, technically Samurai Legend Musashi, which I consider Brave Fencer Musashi 2 for its. But I think we should need like a Brave Fencer Musashi 3. I'm still waiting on a Mega Man Legends 3. But I don't think we're out to get either of those games. But, of course I always enjoyed the old school Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy had amazing music. I guess the main thing with the old SNES was RPGs and... Okay, we're just looping now. Okay, we're going to hop into this new game. But yeah, I've always really, really loved great music in video games. I remember, not too long after I played this game, I think I wound up stopping by a GameStop, and there was some guy there in his early 20s. Granted, I think I was same age back then. It's hard to remember what year everything was, but anyway, some guy wearing a Rick and Morty shirt. I think I was wearing a DBC shirt myself at the time. I actually gifted him 4 games. I gifted him this thing on the PS4, as well as Senran Kagura Peach Beach Splash, Deathmark, which is a horror game visual novel, and Dark Rose Valkyrie. I will say this was a very good visual novel. It has great music, great story, great character design. The arts, even the background, look at this. See the buildings back there? pay a lot of attention to it. And of course, look at the designs for the characters. The faces are very emotive. The hair is really well done. There's this, like, look at the little thing in her little, like, you know, the front pocket thing, a little mouse guy or something. Like, and even in the background, just there's a lot of attention to detail on just everything that's been drawn. And that's one thing I'm always, like, I like good music. I like a good story. I like great artwork. And of course, the biggest thing of all in any game is I really, really like amazing gameplay. That's one thing. If I have like a fighting game or a... Great, you should be able to think of other genres of games. But I'm just saying, like, yes, the turn-based style of Final Fantasy, I enjoyed the games, but eventually, I just don't really like the turn-based style anymore. I like to be able to actively run around and do little flips and shoot a gun and punch people in the face with comical bullshit that doesn't make sense. That sword reminds me of Lumina from Brave Fence of Visage. But I know I should be like reading this, but you guys can read. So the only reason I want to read is because sometimes I'm like, yeah, but right now I'm getting too caught up in just talking about all sorts of whatever the fuck else. So yeah, but I just really like good gameplay to a game. And granted, a visual novel, there's not really any gameplay, but as long as you're enraptured in the story and you're enjoying your experience, then that's all that matters. As long as you're having fun. Now, in a fighting game, I want to feel like it's a smooth combat to it. And I'll say this. Killer Instinct, Tekken, I think I really felt the most smoothness to a combat in those games. I'm considering the Tekken 8 game, but honestly, I don't think my computer would handle that from what I've seen of the graphics. And... are you gonna read stuff? No. Just gonna put it on auto. Watch Looter T8 just do a visual novel the worst way possible. By not reading or paying attention to it. You guys see stuff happening, okay? You guys can read. I'm not gonna let's play this whole game just cause... I just really haven't been recording very many videos that much lately. I've been trying to focus on other things. Like, I'm trying to learn how to play the Saw theme still, and play Disney songs on a guitar. My drawing is still terrible. I gotta actually make a VTuber model at some point. Which that reminds me, that's another thing that's cool about these designs, these characters, is like it's... granted, it was years earlier, I can't remember, like what, probably 2014 or something this game came out? I don't know. But, you know, it does, you know, seem reminiscent of the VTuber style, as far as how vibrant the colors are. And of course, Song of Memories, I think a game came out in 2017, actually used the very early models of VTubers, as far as the way that technology works. But that was before VTubers were really a thing. I don't think there was a single VTuber on the internet, whether Twitch, YouTube, anywhere else in 2017. Like, it'd be interesting to look back to try to research that. Like, when was the very first actual VTuber? And even then, which ones were like corporate people? Because there's like some very big companies out there that like back VTubers as like a group or something. And then of course you have the indie people, and of course there's tons of people like there's like probably couple million people that are actually, you know, doing the VTuber. I mean, heck, I'm gonna be doing one, but I'm just gonna be doing a free model of Vroid Studio because for me this shit's a fucking hobby. I just like rambling at my computer and saying hi to people on the internet. So that's the end of the day. I'm just a crazy guy who just wants to... I enjoy Let's Plays. Even before Markiplier existed, I was watching Let's Plays on YouTube back in the era of Ultra J-Man and Proton John SA and Cloud8745. Like all those guys, it was just really enjoyable. Heck, nowadays there's like a Gray Still Plays. He's hilarious to watch. It's just like the amount of bullshit he gets into in something, especially like he's able to like cheat at certain games. Which again, it's not an issue. Like he's not trying to test skill. You know, there are some things like the Grand Theft Auto like racetrack stuff he's doing, or the Happy Wheels. I have not been able to find Happy Wheels on Steam, and I could probably find on, but I don't really want to get anything that's not on Steam. Granted, I did try at one point to download I Want to Be the Guy, but my computer refused to play it, so That's probably my computer just protecting me in that situation, because that was such a bad rage game. Not that I'm against rage games, like I really enjoyed games like Jubilee and Splasher and... Okay, she is very pretty. I actually forgot about her. Okay, I remember who my waifu was now. Very tall... What? I can't be the only person that'd be fine with dating, you know, a woman taller than me. Though the hair is really nice. But yeah, even just like, we're in a freaking bedroom here, and look at just the way the bedroom is designed. It's really cool. It's really awesome. It's, on the one hand, simplistic. On the other hand, you can see a ton of attention to detail. Everything looks really good. I mean, honestly, like, this would be like... You could have a dream about this, and you would be like, ah, it's close enough to reality. Granted, not three-dimensional, but honestly, I don't think, like... Could people out there make a version of this that was, like, three-dimensional? Like, I don't... Then again, I don't know how that human brain would react to, like, if you had, like, 3D VR for a prolonged period of time. I think that's probably not healthy for your brain? I don't know. I really don't know how, like, the VR stuff really affects people. Then again, I tend to get migraines myself. So, yeah, I don't know if it'd be healthy for me to ever use VR. I don't know how that affects people. I don't know if there's different models or how that works. So, yeah, I don't know. I know at one point I was considering VR just to be like Beat Saber. Like, let's watch Luderdy try to improve his reflexes. But then again, we all saw that when I played Nerve or Thumper, which I eventually did beat those games. It just required a lot of screaming and cussing. I might play another more of that just so you guys can still watch me fail, but I'll still play it from time to time, just not that often, but I know, it just, at least here I have a few days off this week. Like, that's nice. I got the week off because of the 4th of July and stuff. Part of me was considering, like, just trying to starve myself the whole week and just eat, like, a can of chicken each day, you know, so I could be less fat. But, you know, that felt so miserable. I've been meaning to try to get a pizza the past few days. I tried calling Pizza Hut, but the local Pizza Hut's just... every time I tried to place the order online, I kept saying it didn't go through. And then when I tried to call them, no one would pick up. So it's like, if I want to get a pizza, I'm actually have to go there physically and place the order in person. And I'm like... Oh, you guys remember the Mountain Dew Amp energy drinks? I'm drinking one of those right now. Not sponsored by them, nor would I want to, but it's just, I don't know, drinking shit. But yeah, it's just like, this is just like, there's no reason for me to get like, I gotta actually make a VTuber model, but there's no reason for me to get like a high-end model or spend money on stuff like that, because this isn't, you know, a business for me. I understand how there's other people make money for it, and if you guys can make money from it, that's awesome. If you're good at something, you should make money off it. I'm not good at any of this shit. And that's one of the beauties of it, is just the fact that in real life, you have to do all this stuff, and there's all this pressure about doing it well, and with this, I don't have to worry about that shit. I can just lay back, relax, and hop into the world of YouTube, and just talk to all you guys out there. Mostly about, like, hey, what's a good Metallica song? Or what's a cool new anime? Or, like, what's a good new video game? Like, great, like, something like Super Meat Boy, or... Like, it doesn't have to be a rage game, mind you. It doesn't have to be anything hard. I don't care if a game's hard, or if it pisses me off. I just care that I actually have fun playing it. As long as it can keep me engaged. Granted, I'll probably pay more attention to this game when I'm, like, not recording a video, which... That may seem unprofessional, but then again, that's the only thing consistent about my channel, is a complete lack of any professionalism. But yeah, I just wanted to... This game was on sale for like 80% off, and I remember it being pretty awesome, plus the music. I mean, just to have, like, the music for the background music, granted, I know I can just look it up on YouTube. But I don't know, maybe at some point I'll go back to like reading books again. Like I have made some video, like I do karaoke. I'm terrible at singing. I can't sing, but I like doing it. Okay, you know, I don't have to do stuff to be good at it. It's like, and it's like I don't have to do stuff because, you know, because here's the thing: if I didn't release a video unless it was like really good or something, I'd never make a single video. Everything I do is horrible. Everything I do is cringe. I am a failure at everything I try. But that's fine. I don't have to be successful at anything to make a video here. I can just make a video and just be myself and talk about whatever and just, you know, relax. If you guys want to hang out with me, that's cool. I appreciate the company. I appreciate any, you know, positive remarks or games you guys want to see. And if you guys suggest a game, I'll consider it. But only if I think it'll be fun. And even then, I probably would only ever buy it if it's on sale. But, like, I think the background music of this would be great, because I know, like, I made videos where I would, like, I would do unrehearsed creepypasta narrations, or I would read, like, Warhammer books, or Dungeons & Dragons, or light novels, or stuff about Cthulhu, or I got a Shakespeare book over there that I'm just saying I can read that and have the background musics for this game in the background. And I could just use a random background from this game as a backdrop. That way you guys aren't just staring at a black screen. You know, because that'd just be better, I guess? You know, it's like, oh, you can have a black screen or just random anime bedroom with a computer on the desk that's better than anything I will ever own in my life. I still think it's funny. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Error. Version 1.00.02, all in brackets. See, I don't know if you guys can see that or not in the recording. Kotori's eyes are frozen on a frame between having her eyes closed and open. Yay! I mean, it could be more cursed, I guess. So what the fuck happened here? Project succeed /project DAL4I /trunk /prog /program /source /kernel /platform /window SD 3D11 /K_C graphics .cpp 2213 kernel, what the semicolon C graphics semicolon lock texture address DXGL _error _device _removed ID3, or is that a 1 or an L? Is that a capital? I don't know. Possible L D3D. Oh, I recognize that from Street Fighter. I recognize that, but I can still play the Street Fighter game, though it says like. But yeah, possible L D3D 11 device :::: create texture 2D weird stretched 0 thing error comma. Okay, well, I'm going to just try to drag this over here off screen, and I'm going to try to keep playing this. It will not let me do it. I'm going to push OK, and it'll probably crash everything. Get game is closed. Maybe that game just can't handle being played and recorded at the same time, or anything. I don't know. So, I forget what I was talking about. Basically, I'm going to make, like, I just think it's interesting, like, the way these character designs, it reminds me of the VTuber model stuff, and this game is, like, really on sale, and it has great music, and really cool backdrops and character designs, and an awesome story. But I remember there being, like, a 4th game called Utopia or something, but I never could find a physical copy of that, and it's not on Steam, though at this point, if it was on Steam, I don't know if it would work on my computer. I don't know. I think over time my computer's just getting, because I've had so many games on my computer. Granted, I didn't install them, but I think over time it just My computer is taking a bit of a beating, it seems. Well, it just means whatever games I play for you guys will be a bit laggy. But like I said, I really don't need to worry too much about, trying to, be a brand and keep, I gotta get sponsors and I gotta get a certain amount of views every video to make money to pay rent and shit. No! I'm just a dude who wants to ramble at his computer and I want to hang out with you guys online vicariously and talk the shit about whatever. I don't know what we're gonna talk about. But I just feel like talking about random bullshit, though if I ever do have somebody in chat, maybe you guys can keep me on one fucking topic. Because otherwise, if you ever look at my video, Daniel Stern, Bullet Train, I don't stay on a single fucking topic. I'll put a couple videos in the description here, so you guys can get a little bit of an idea of just... It's just, in real life, I have to, I can't really talk about things that much. And it's not that I can't talk to people. All things considered, I'm actually very good at actually having a conversation with people IRL. The problem is, it has to always be about what they want to talk about and what is considered socially acceptable. I can't just have random tentacle hentai jokes and talk about, whatever random bullshit pops in mind. And plus, it takes a lot more effort to just stay on a certain topic and to stay on what's considered, acceptable to talk about in public, because, you don't want people to look at you like you're weird. And plus, you have to, right now, I'm able to just keep talking, because, I'm the only person speaking here. There's not other people on the video with me. It's not like it's a podcast or something. Whereas, in real life, where I suppose in a podcast, though, it'd be kind of odd to do that, because at least IRL, in real life, you can just look at the person's eyes. You can look them in the face. You can watch the way their face moves. You can watch their body language. And you can tell, okay, what is their emotional reaction to what you're saying? What do they want to continue talking about it? Are they interested? Are they wanting to speak? Plus, in any conversation, there's a lot of give and take. You have to have a lot of pauses to actually, because you're... Heck, a lot of times in real-life conversations, I'm spending more time listening to the other person and trying to contribute to their conversation. Whereas this, I don't really have any sort of soundboard that is another human being to, keep myself on a certain path in, the conversation. So since I'm the one at the wheel here, there's apparently no road, and we're just driving down a fucking mountain. It's kind of like that very first Rammstein video I did. Where I say I can't speak German, but I've tried to do Rammstein videos. The very first one, I barely spent a few minutes to sing "Kind Loose," and it's just... I'll put it in the description. But it's just... Yeah, I make videos for the sake of enjoying it. I'll make a VTuber. I don't know if it's possible with my setup for me to even have a VTuber model work and record and actually do other things at the same time. I might literally just have to have a VTuber model that I use to just... I could probably sing and read and just have random conversations with people. But I don't think it's possible for me to have a VTuber model and play a game at the same time. One, I don't know how I would even do that in terms of programs, as far as OBS, as far as recording multiple sources. And two, I don't think my computer could handle it. I think it would crash everything. I think I had to be in the middle. It's like I've considered Minecraft. But I play Minecraft like a psychopath. Also, I don't think my computer could handle Minecraft. Then again, Minecraft by me would be the... Though you guys remember Tekkit and, what was it? What? Oh, right, the Aether. There was an Aether mod that was like... It was like the Nether, but it was heaven. And it was like bouncy clouds and angels and really cool rocks and stuff. That was a lot of fun. But Tekkit had there's hundreds of really good mods, which honestly, from what I remember of what I saw at Minecraft, how it kept going further on, it was a lot better than anything I ever saw actually come out in the Xbox version. But one thing that was really cool was the quarry stuff. And you can also have pumps to drain oceans. But I would play Minecraft like a fucking psychopath. The way I would play Minecraft is I would just go out with a pickaxe. And granted, I made it easier in Tekkit to do it. But what I would do with that is I would just tech it, rather than make the quarry myself, I would just go out and get the supplies to build the automated quarries, and then I would just put automated quarries everywhere. And if I had to, I would dig down, I would destroy all the mountains and trees, just so I could have a flat ground, and then put quarries. But I would leave enough ground between the quarries so you could see how much destruction... Or like if I did strip mining, my goal would be I would just build one little quarry, and I would expand it outward, or I would just have a strip mine under everything. And then the idea is that I would just put the whole world in little chests everywhere. I would just be stockpiling everything. Or building monster traps and stuff like that. And then I would drain all the oceans. And then I would put quarries in the oceans. It's kind of like, I remember the original Warcraft, like not the World of Warcraft MMO thing. I meant the actual old school like RTS, like StarCraft stuff. But I wouldn't play the game like a normal person. The way I play the game is like, okay, I'm just going to ignore all the other people, and I'm just going to focus on, I'm going to cut down all the trees. That's it. That's all I'm doing. Any soldiers I make are just to protect my people cutting down the trees. Or like I'm playing the Zerg in StarCraft. My goal isn't to fight the other people. I'm just trying to build that, the ground, the creep stuff all over everywhere that you build your buildings on, and just expand that. I'm not trying to fight anyone. Like, I'll build soldiers and they're all in defense. It's just, I'm just trying to make it where no one else can build shit. It's like, yes, I didn't kill any of you. You just... And I'm going to build my stuff to be defensive, so you can't kill me. You're just forced to quit. Because I'm a dick. It's kind of like, I had a friend who was like really, really into like hockey and stuff. Apparently he'd go watch the games and all that stuff. And nobody could beat him in the game. But I was the only person that never actually lost him. Because the game would put it on like, if enough players were injured, it would just call the game as a draw. So rather than ever trying to focus on stopping him from scoring, or me focusing on scoring myself, I would just keep checking everyone all the time until there were so many people injured the game got called. It was... I don't know. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. I'm sorry, guys. I can't stand it. Main point is this. In real life, I have to actually talk like a normal person. On here, I can just talk about whatever the fuck I want, and I don't have to care about, actually being, considerate. Because in real life, you have to be considerate of the other person's feelings and actually listening to them. Here, there is no one else. It's just me talking to myself. And it's like... And then again, even if I wasn't recording video, like there's several times where I'll pace my living room and have conversations with myself for hours on end. At least this stays a little bit more stable than that, because at least I'm talking to the computer and there's at least something for me to focus on. Whereas, like there's times I'll be downstairs and I'm like a little... Because I'm trying to learn how to juggle. I'm terrible at it. I'm never going to get better. It's kind of like I want to learn how to speak Japanese because I want to sing Japanese anime songs. Yes, it's a very frivolous reason, but it's my reason. Nor am I succeeding at it. The hiragana is plus procrastination. I keep doing other things. Then I'll be honest. There was a fireworks display last night that I literally just had to go 5 minutes to go watch. And I just didn't feel like it. I just lay down in bed and went straight to sleep. I'm close enough I should be able to hear the fireworks explosions. Didn't wake me up at all. I was just that tired. I'm like, I could go watch a free fireworks display that could last half an hour and, was being put on by an actual city. And I'm like, I don't feel like it. I'm bored. It's a once a year thing where I can watch explosions in the sky and I'm like, I'm bored. I want to go to bed. And then I'm like, I'm close enough where I can be hearing these explosions, and you have a half hour long of just explosions. And I'm like, I'm too tired to even be bothered by it, or even be interested. I don't know. But yeah, it's just I just think it's interesting these design characters being reminiscent of VTubers, and the way Song of Memories is a lot like the 3D VTubers in terms of design, just a 2017 model. But it was that game was based off the idea of the technology that's used for VTubers. But at the time that it was used, VTubers didn't exist. It wasn't even just some backwoods sort of thing on the internet where it was a couple people and it just wasn't catching on. Because heck, YouTube, I remember a time where I was watching YouTube, and it was considered that thing that nobody in the world watched. And it was like, oh yeah, there's like 5 people on the planet that are on YouTube, and they just have there's a couple people with a cat video, that's it. It's like, yeah, YouTube's that place where there's like that Pop-Tart cat. Yan 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 yan. I gotta actually try to make it appropriate, and it goes, Nyan? Nyan. Ara, ara. Yeah, everyone's like, please stop! It's painful to listen to. And I'm like, it's painful to do, man. Oh, fuck. I don't know what the fuck we're talking about, but it's interesting just like how this game is a lot of Song of Memories is on YouTube. Not on YouTube, on Steam. But I didn't get that because there was a lot of complaints in the store, reviews saying it wasn't working, like their computer kept crashing people. But I didn't see any of that with this game. But apparently that's a thing. I may not be able to play this game at all, so yeah, I guess. But yeah, simple. I gotta actually make a VTuber model. I'll listen to a bunch of Korn and awesome music, and maybe some Tool and stuff, and maybe some sort of podcast or something in the background, or mainly just some Korn, System Down, Disturb, mainly Korn. I'll listen to that while I try to. But even then, I'm not even sure how well that'll record, but I don't think it's possible for me to record a VTuber model and gameplay. But it's a work in progress that I really don't. Well, while YouTube is like an obsessive hobby for me, like I'm doing like 500 other things at the same time. And even then, I'm like, yeah, I have no interest of ever making money off this. Hell, I'm actively against it. And like again, I don't knock other people for doing it. I think it's awesome. If there's other people out there, whether you're a VTuber or you're just a normal guy, actually streaming in front of a computer, actually in front of the camera, because one, you can afford a high-end camera to actually record something that doesn't look like a bunch of pixels, and two, you're actually confident enough in your own appearance to actually be sitting in front of a camera, then good for you. That's awesome. I applaud you for that. More than likely, I'm probably in your chat watching you. Because heck, there was this bald British guy a couple days ago playing Only Up, and I was watching him play that. And I was enjoying that, just talking some shit with him and the rest of the chat, trying to suggest to him to play Thumper and stuff, just because it would be so hilarious to watch Tier of Disgrace play Thumper and do all the yelling and screaming. Because I remember cussing my fucking ass off playing that game. Or Splasher, Jubilee. But it was a lot of fun, too. Heck, I would really recommend Fight Crab or the Perfect Apocalypse Trilogy. Yes, everything's a cat pun and not spelled the way you imagine. It's actually fairly cheap, even when things aren't on sale. And they're probably on sale right now for quite a while because of the whole, summer sale thing. But yeah, you got Love First Bite, you got Purgatory Forever, Patches Inferno. A lot of secrets, a lot of great music. And the art design is much more simplistic than this one, but it's a little indie studio. I think I should probably try to play more indie developed games, just because that'd probably be more fun, and you might find some more, because most games nowadays are like AAA stuff that's like for the PS5, and I'm like, my computer barely runs. Like, there are some things that I've tried to play that were made for a PS2 and it can't work, but there's other things that work for a PS4 but then again, like if you looked at the Golem game that came out recently, there's people that are playing that on freaking high-end computers that are like 10 times more powerful than mine. And that shit's still a glitchy fucking mess that crashes nonstop. Then again, like I said, these are people that are actually have a lot of paid programs that go into it. And me, like, I'm not going to sink that much money into this stuff because, one, I'm not rich. I'm some guy who works in a factory. And eventually, I'm sure, one, between the way the economy is going at the factory, I mean, heck, just a few weeks ago, they basically told everyone at work that we're not getting any kind of raise at all. Not even a cost of living increase, which is kind of fucked. But I understand the economy being what it is, and they're having issues getting a proper profit. So, heck, by the January of 2025, they're planning to do a bunch of layoffs and downsizing. So, even if the economy doesn't get any worse, I'm probably going to be forced to leave that job anyway. And if the economy completely tanks, well, that company's just not going to exist. Then again, honestly, between how hard the job works me, I don't think I can physically handle the job for much longer. My knees and back and stuff are in constant pain doing it. Two, just a lot of stuff, stress, a lot of stuff, the way the management is just, there's a lot of stuff that pisses me off and frustrates me. But of course, it pays the rent, and it's actually the best paying job I've ever had. And I've worked much worse jobs. Heck, I've done one job where I was electrostatic painting, where I was working sometimes close to 80 hours a week, and I was literally breathing powdered metal and powdered paint and gas fumes and black mold. And I was having to do stuff that OSHA would have been, really horrified at. I mean, I was having to drive a forklift with 3,000 pounds of steel in the air, making turns with it in the air above humans. I was having to store barrels of explosives. I mean, giant fucking steel drums of barrels, plus those clear, sort of grayish, barrels. Like, granted, one was like a powdered explosive, the other is a liquid, and we're storing it next to a 2-story fucking gas-powered, flame-driven oven. It's like, what the fuck? So, and again, I wound up quitting that job because my health was collapsing from that. I was actually dying from that, and that's not actually, that's not good for your health. And granted, like I said, there's things I don't like about this job that I'm doing right now, and I tend to be stressed out about it, and I probably should eat healthy. That's like I said, I was considering trying to starve the shit out of myself to not be so fat, because between attractiveness and even just the amount of fat I have on me and the lack of muscle, I don't really like the way I look. But I don't know. Heck, I'm looking at this book. I know I've suggested it before. Yes, I'm trying to stay on topic. I'm sorry. I can't do it. It's like I said, the main reason I do this channel is because I like Let's Plays. I watched a shit ton of Let's Plays back in the era where a Let's Play was an unheard of thing. Where if you mentioned it in like even a school or a church or a library or even a stadium, you could have made an announcement at a football stadium to 100,000 people about Let's Plays in Proton John SA. Not a single fucking person would know what the fuck you were talking about, and they would think you were some sort of just weird person. Now, YouTube's a thing that everyone's on every single day. Heck, if you ask your average person at a fucking school, they're saying they want to be on YouTube. So, I mean, it went from being a thing that nobody even knew existed to a thing that's almost an indispensable part of everyone's daily life. Because even if you're not, a YouTuber, you're going on there to watch music, get game strategies, game guides, get new video game suggestions. Because sometimes I'll check it out, like I'll hop around YouTube trying to look at just like, okay, what's new games? What's something that's fun? What's, a new strategy for a game I've been playing? Granted, I remember also back in the past before the internet, you had no strategy guides. You're even up to the point you're playing a PS2. If you didn't know what the fuck was going on, you either had to like fiddle around with it yourself for hours, or you're just screwed. It was just, yep, you can't beat the game. There's no way to figure it out. Nobody knows. But now it's like, you could look up anything on any video game. Heck, you could look up how to learn any language. Right, I'm holding this book, I haven't even addressed it yet. I'm holding in my hand Berserk of Gluttony novel number 5. And I guess the main point is, between physique and face, I wouldn't mind looking like that. Fate Graphite. I think he eventually becomes Fate Barbados. But yeah, Berserk of Gluttony. It's an amazing novel, light novel series. I think they made up to novel 8, number 8. Maybe they made a new one recently. Probably 9. Heck, it would also just 2.5 dimensional seduction. It's a lot like My Dress Up Darling, except for it's got a little bit more comedy in it. But this one here, number 5, is you got Fate Graphite on the front with a really actually awesome. Actually, everything about it's really cool looking. I don't think there's any possible way for me to link a picture in a description. Either there's like so many things I mentioned I'm going to link in the description. And I know the Daniel Stern bullet train thing, and I think I made a video where I was talking about movie genres and stuff. Hell, I actually made a parody video of Sweet Dreams once where I wrote my own lyrics called All the Neckos Are Meowing for Head Pats. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm sorry. Ooh, I forgot this picture. It's a really cute maid girl. Trying not to be lewd. Trying. Horrible failure. And I was saying, like in real life, you can't just have a conversation about tentacle hentai. Or like Raven and Beast Boy and shit like that. You can't just talk about hentai in public. But, you know, here I can talk about whatever, and if I decide to go off topic on any conversation, I can do so. There's no social faux pas here in terms of, oh no, you're not staying on topic. Oh no, you didn't pause long enough to give the other person enough time to speak. Oh no, you want to talk about how awesome this outfit is that the dude is wearing. Like, if you guys get the chance, and granted, be careful about Googling a lot of images, because there's actually a lot of porn out there, which I've seen all of. Like, honestly, as long as... I'm just saying, there's a lot of hentai, and I have searched a lot of it. And, of course, you got Nemo on the left side, which is a really cute maid girl. She's also a vampire now. Lunar D8 went from talking about random subjects to spacing out, staring about an awesome outfit that Fate Graphite is wearing, and he's like, yeah, I'd like to cosplay that one day and actually look like him. And now I'm just looking at Nebel wearing her maid outfit and thinking very lewd thoughts. I'm just saying, Google Berserk of Gluttony, Novel 5. You'll see the title page of the book, you know, it's a paperback. And the guy on there, his arms being held by a girl in a maid outfit. With, like, it's not quite red hair. It's not quite purple. I forget what color it is. It's like a light purple with some red in there. It looks really cool. And stop thinking lewd thoughts about her in any moment as I look at how attractive the frilly dress looks on her. But back to how I would actually like to look like Fate Graphite on the right side, the guy over here. Like, main point I'm trying to get you guys to focus on. Like, okay, now that you guys have Googled the cover of Berserk of Gluttony Novel 5, we are both struggling to fight the urge to just space out staring at how sexy Nemo is on the left side of there. And instead, we're going to focus on Fate Graphite. Particularly, look at how awesome his outfit is. You see a sword on his left side of his hip. Look at the design of that sword. Look at the gold scabbard it's in. Look at his boots. Look at his pants. Look at the really, really awesome, like, full body sort of... It's almost like the outfit that Squall from Final Fantasy VIII has, but it's better in every way. And he's also like a really cool belt and these cool little things on the side and pouches. And like he's got these little fingerless gloves that look really awesome, and there's this red, like, really fancy felt stuff into his part of his coat. I can't describe things well. I'm sorry. I'm just saying the outfit he's wearing is really awesome. Now, granted, it'd be nice if, like, my face probably looked a little bit more like his. And of course, if I wasn't a fucking fat ass and actually had his build, maybe a tiny bit more muscle. But, main thing I'm just trying to say is, the outfit he is wearing is absolutely awesome. It's almost like a fusion between the outfit that Squall from Final Fantasy VIII is wearing and what Alucard from Hellsing wears, but better 1,000 times over. Like, this outfit looks so fucking awesome. But honestly, if you half-assed it, it wouldn't look good at all. You would have to actually have it professionally fucking made. And that, like, looking at everything that would go into just making this, and it's not like you would have an actual sword with magical properties and shit, and it's not like it'd be actual gold into the scabbard. But just to have it look cool and be nice clothing, this would probably cost several $1,000s to make. But it looks so awesome. We went from Lunar D8 talking about how he never plans to make a cent on YouTube and just makes videos for the hell of it, and about how that even if he had 1 million subscribers, he would never want to be partnered with YouTube or make a single cent from ad revenue, or he'd have Patreon or Super Chats or anything in which he would ever make a single bit of money. It's not like I'll have sponsors or merchandise or bullshit like that. You know, I do this shit all for free. I'm just annoying all of you on the internet. So I'm an asshole. But it's just like, we go from me talking about how even if I had 1 million subscribers, I would not want to ever make a cent off of YouTube or anything ever. I don't want a single donation or anything. I just want to ramble at the internet as my hobby that I do obsessively sometimes, and may just stop at any point because I don't know. Like, I really like doing it, but there's sometimes I might just, like, it's not like I'm dependent for, like, to make my rent or anything doing this stuff. And like I said, my job, I fucking hate my job, but I don't want this to ever be a job. Granted, it would actually be much more enjoyable, but I don't want to do this to, like, oh, I have to get this much, super chats and ad revenue and stuff and sponsors to make bills. I don't want that kind of stress from it. I don't want to be like, oh, I have to do something on this to make money, and it has to be all perfect, and it has to be, everyone's got to love it so that I make money for electricity bills and stuff and cars and whatever. No, I just want to have a place where I can cut loose and just talk random bullshit with people on the internet and just relax. That's the thing. In real life, real life's constant stress, and you have to be mindful of everything. And for the most part, here's the thing. When I do talk to people, it has to always be about stuff that they're comfortable with and stuff they want to talk about. And even then, I don't really talk to other people that often. I mean, I can talk to people. It's not like I don't have social skills. Yes, I have constant social anxiety, and I'm freaked the fuck out at all times. And a lot of that's because of actual things that happened in the past that I have every reason to be freaked the fuck out about and have serious long-term issues from. But I'm very good at hiding that IRL. And I'm very good at hiding actually being anxious when I talk to people. But in all things considered, I'm fucking anxious at all times. At all times, especially when I'm talking to people in real life and actually interacting with people. But I'm very good at hiding that and actually having a proper conversation and actually getting other people to laugh and actually being able to read their body language so I can talk to them in a way that they are actually enjoying the conversation. But that's so much pressure. Whereas here, I don't have to deal with that pressure of that stuff. I can just talk about whatever. And it's just I feel the need that I need to ramble. And yes, nothing I say is important. My thoughts, my feelings, none of it fucking matters. But I still feel the need to talk about them. I just feel the need that I want to be able to talk. And yes, does it accomplish anything? No! But it's just something I want to do. So I'm doing it. And I don't want it to be for some sort of ulterior, I'm going to get money to, yes, I'm going to pay rent and buy shit with this. No, I just want to ramble about whatever. And this is just fun. I like making videos. Like I said, I've always enjoyed watching Let's Plays. And granted, yes, my Let's Plays are terrible, but I still enjoy doing them. And if other people actually enjoy watching them, that's fucking awesome. That's a bonus. But that's not why I do it. I do it because I just like playing the game and randomly talking bullshit as I play the game. That's it. Forget what the fuck we're talking about. I need to turn up the air conditioning. I'm burning the fuck up. Even though this is the coldest summer I remember. Hopefully winter doesn't get that bad. I'm saying Berserk Gluttony. It's an amazing it's a light novel. I'm holding a light novel. But I did see a couple mangas where they're starting to print mangas. So that looked really awesome too. But I want them to make this into an anime. Though I also don't want them to censor shit. Because I know there's a lot of stuff lately with localizers and stuff, special Japanese games. Heck, a lot of times you have localizers working with the game companies that are making the games in Japan that are already censoring it before it even gets made into the localized version for over here in America. Heck, there's sometimes a game will be released on a certain console, and that console wants to censor certain things. But, one, the companies that they have censor things aren't allowed to say it's the console saying that you have to do it. And two, because you can't really have multiple versions of the game a lot of times, if you censor it for the console, then a lot of times the computer version gets censored too. And I'm like, I don't know, I don't like restricting things like free speech or... I mean, I'm always very pro... I'm an American, I'm very pro, the Bill of Rights. I mean, I think people should be able to have open conversations with each other, and people should be able to defend themselves. But I don't know. I just really like anime and stuff. And it's just lately, it's just heck. Sometimes it's even decisions okay, I understand Gollum couldn't really use the design of Gollum because copyrights, and of course they're worried. Oh, it's going to be too distracting. That Gollum would look like the Gollum from the game, and on a game about Gollum that's titled Gollum. It's like, I mean, that's too distracting. What about the parts where the floor didn't load? I remember watching, Tier Disgrace play it, and it's just the parts where the floor didn't load. But it's the funniest thing about the game was just his seeing how fucking broken the game was, and his reaction to it. That was funny. I enjoyed it. But like I said, I remember a time in the past where people didn't make any money at all from playing YouTube. But now people, there's so many people that are doing it that seem to be hopping into it purely for that reason. Which again, I don't knock that. If you can make it work, that's awesome for you. I'm cheering you on. I think that's great. Hell, I'll say this. Tier Disgrace, he's got this thing to where he's got all these little custom things that's and to most people it would look like it's a pretty simple thing. But from what little bit I've looked into how to do that shit, that's fucking complicated as far as I can tell. So good on him for being a lot more professional than he gives himself credit for. And it's just he's so you want some beef? I do! It's ham! And it's just funny. But the biggest thing it really does crack me up is he's got this custom thing for when people because it used to be that he was on Twitch and it was people would give him bits. And 100 bits is basically $1, from what I understand. So 10,000 bits is $100. Well, now it's a thing still on YouTube. He's got his carried over, where if someone because their bits aren't a thing anymore. I don't think they even do it on YouTube, on Twitch anymore. I don't know. I know a lot of the streaming stuff has been changing, and that's been inconvenient for a lot of people that actually, try to get ad revenue and stuff for them. But for me, it's not a concern because I'm never going to make a cent. Though I have noticed YouTube still puts on the few videos I have that have actually garnered any kind of views, I've noticed YouTube has put ads on those videos. I mean, if YouTube wants to make money off me, good, go for it. It's your site. I have close to 2,500 videos on your site. I mean, I think at this point, YouTube is entitled to put ads on my videos. I mean, it's their site. I mean, it's not like I'm entitled or have a right to put videos on their site. It's a free service for everybody. I mean, to them, they're obviously doing it because it benefits them. And then, again, they have to do that. I mean, it keeps electricity on for them at the YouTube headquarters, wherever that is. I don't care enough to look that up. I'm just some guy who wants to post videos on their site because like I said, I really, really enjoyed watching Let's Plays. I still watch Let's Plays, and I'll listen to Nightcore music, and I'll actually hop around from every corner of the internet. I'll listen to people's podcasts about any subject. I'll listen to creepypastas and analog horror stuff, or video game guides, or how-to videos on how to, build certain things, or just ASMR to help me sleep because I'm a fucking constant insomniac. Heck, I also will. I'll say this. I remember seeing a video by somebody saying like how somebody was saying they wanted chai tea, and the other person's like, "Chai is tea. You're saying tea." And it's like, but to me, like, chai isn't tea, just because I never enjoyed the taste of it. Like, I'll drink black teas, and then there's one type of tea that's a mix of peppermint leaves, chamomile flowers, lavender flowers, and catnip. Yes, I drink tea made with catnip. But I'll say this. If you guys are out there, people that drink different types of tea, let me know what type of tea you drink, why you like it, what you drink it for, how you do it. And I'll say this. If you're one of those people that drink the chai tea, well, if you want me to like chai tea, give me a description of a type of chai tea that you think is the best. Or maybe I'm doing something wrong in my preparation. Maybe there's something I do wrong with the chai tea that I've made in the past or had. Maybe I just had bad chai tea. And maybe you know of really good chai tea, and you could just, recommend that to me, and I could try it and give you my opinion. Maybe I'd love it. And now we've gotten to the point of this program where I'm now talking about, hey, I'm a fat ass. Give me food recipes. No, I'm actually being serious. You guys know good food and stuff, because I cook stuff in a skillet. Like a couple days ago, I was just cooking a bunch of mashed potatoes in a skillet. Earlier today, I cooked some stuffing and some other stuff. Like I said, initially I was thinking about trying to starve myself this week when I had the time. Because I can't starve myself at work, because then I'll get lightheaded and probably pass out or some shit. And I have to constantly put... Main point I say with work is this. Eventually, either that job's going to go under, or my health's going to, my knees can't handle that. Because it's standing manual labor where I'm having to constantly rush to hit quotas that I think, what, do they expect me to be on, meth or some shit? I don't feel the numbers they want me to do are reasonable. And yet I'm working as hard and as fast as I can, and I'm constantly stressed about it, and I'm doing the best I can, and they're always like, more. And I'm like, I can't go faster. I can't work harder. I'm doing my best. I am taking Tylenol and caffeine and sugar and junk food in ridiculous amounts just to keep going. And even then, like I said, I'm human, and honestly, I'm a fucking failure at everything I've ever done in my life. So here's the thing. The job I do, honestly, it's a fucking surprise and miracle that I haven't fucked up my job bad enough to be fucking fired at this point. And honestly, I feel it's an inevitability. I feel that before the company goes bankrupt, because the company has been having its problems, so I expect a few years, especially if the economy were to go worse, the company I work at, it's not going to exist anymore. But on top of that, I really need, we're going an hour, I should end the video. But it's just, also, I don't think my health's going to handle it, but plus I got to have that one thing I got to do in October, mid-late October, which I'm still dreading, but at least it's a less invasive procedure where I'll probably be taking a week off, as opposed to the original thing that would have going to be a 4-hour-long surgery where I would have needed 6 weeks off. So, but still, the less invasive thing still sounds horrible, and it's going to fucking suck, and I'm going to be pissed off. Because I don't want to do it, but again, stricture in my bladder. If I don't get that fixed eventually, my bladder will just seal itself off, explode, and I will die. And people say, oh, are they just going to calf you in that situation? No, because at that point, any place they could calf, there's nowhere to put the tube. Everything will be closed off. Which means if they were to hypothetically be able to save me, they would have to literally cut in through my stomach, through my abdomen, not literally my stomach organ, but that part of my body. But at the point where that major became an issue, the window for opportunity of fixing that would be so low to the point that by the time I get to the doctor, it probably would have already burst and I'd be dead. So main point is, I can't really put that off anymore, but it sucks and I don't want to do it. But main thing I'm saying is this. I'm eventually going to be, when I quit that job, I'm just going to do something else And when it comes right down to it, I expect to eventually just get fired from my job because I'm going to fuck something up. I know it.